Hello, I'm very excited and happy to be doing this presentation on rare and elusive birds in and around the Buff Lake Nature Center. I will start alphabetically, starting with the American bittern. And this position of the bird with its neck extended, head looking up in the sky with the eyes up here, this is the typical behavior of this bird when it is disturbed or threatened. It will hold this position without any motion so that it's well camouflaged against the background of cattails. This bird was only present for one day, and some of us are lucky enough to see it thanks to Marty Strickland alerting me to its presence. So the next bird is truly a rare bird. It is the Brant goose. This small goose was sighted by Mary Kay swimming in Buff Lake with Canada geese. And the next day, many of us went to look for this rare bird that actually nests in the Arctic and is almost not seen within the continental US in the central part of the country, and certainly not in Denver. This particular bird has an injured right leg or foot, but the bird was able to swim without any difficulty and fly without any difficulty. It was seen just the 2 days. Moving on to the next bird, this is the gray flycatcher, and I'll take credit for spotting and photographing this bird. And one of the unique features about this bird is that it flicks its tail downwards instead of upwards, which is one of the field marks where you can tell them apart. The flycatchers are notoriously difficult to separate. People with good ears and experience will often tell you that they can positively ID the bird by its song or calls rather than by its appearance. Moving on to the next bird, it is the green heron. It is a little bit smaller than the black-crowned night heron, but it's a lot more colorful. It is a rare bird to see in Denver. It is a year-round resident of Florida. This bird hung around the entire summer, feeding off the rich source of food, mainly on the northern shore of Buff Lake. So quite a few people saw this bird, both local and from elsewhere. This is truly a rare bird, the groove-billed Ani. It was spotted and first reported by Jason Bidgood. Its name is derived from the groove that in this huge beak. This is a tropical bird that shouldn't be in Denver. And from the date, it was like a week or two after a hurricane. So we were wondering if this bird was blown off course by this massive weather disturbance. Anyway, this bird was seen here for about 2 weeks. Many people had come to see this bird, and he or she did not disappoint. Moving right along, this is the Harris's sparrow. It is unique in the sense that this is the only sparrow that only breeds in Canada and nowhere else in the world. And it was seen in the company of white-crowned sparrows. It causes quite a bit of excitement when it's reported. Birders like to go take a look at this. This is a beautiful bird. It is the red-headed woodpecker. And you can't miss this bird. It's the only woodpecker whose head is entirely red. Whether it's in flight or perched on a tree, it is very noticeable. It is more common in the eastern half of the US. And more recently, a juvenile red-headed woodpecker was reported. And as you can see, it has the shape of the woodpecker. It's black and white. It's got spots on the breast, as many juvenile birds have, to camouflage them. And then its head has not turned red. It will be 1 year old before its head turns red. This is great. So now we come to the not so uncommon birds, but the elusive and secretive ones. And the two birds that I will show you here are rails. The first one is Sora. It's a chicken-like bird, and it will come out of the cattails to feed, and then at any disturbance or threat, the bird will just dash right back in. And that's why it is often heard rather than seen. If you are near water and cattails and you hear this, then you should be spending a little bit of time to look for it. And this is two pictures of a Sora chick.
Do you think that the chicks are easier to spot or harder to spot? Have they not yet developed their full adult caution? Are they a little reckless? Or are they kind of even more elusive?
Yeah, well, juvenile birds are usually more approachable because, as you say, they're not experienced and they're not frightened of humans. They don't quite appreciate the threat, which they learn as they grow older. But these elusive birds, they're really very skittish and shy, and the chicks would dash in and out just like the parents. So moving right along to the next rail, and this is a Virginia rail, and you can see that the brown and black color are similar, but it has a much longer beak. And the habitat that it's in is also very similar. They never stray very far from the cattails, so they could dash and hide. And they feed on insects and vegetation in the water. This is a juvenile Virginia rail, also at Bluff Lake. Okay, so now we're coming to the 10th bird, and that's our wild turkey. I have to give credit for the first spotting of this bird again to Andrew Fontenot in July 14th of 2017. And she has been spotted ever since over the last 3 Thanksgivings. We decided to have a Name the Wild Turkey Hen contest, and Gertrude was the unanimous name that we came up with. So Gertrude was last seen by me on March 20th, 2020. She has been absent for periods of 2 or 3 months, after the winter in the spring. These birds are not migratory, so they don't go south as far as I know. Maybe she just went into a neighborhood different from us, and we're looking forward to her return.
So I have just 2 final questions for you, George.
Okay.
Of all these rare and elusive sightings, which do you think was the most exciting in recent memory?
I think the groove-billed Ani created the most excitement and probably drew the greatest number of birders from a wide area because of the rarity of the bird.
Yeah, I'd spoken to a woman who had driven from quite far away just to see the bird.
Yes.
And my other question is, why do you think you like birding so much, and why Bluff Lake in particular?
I'll answer the second part of the question first. Bluff Lake is within walking distance to my home, so it's like my second home or my backyard. It is convenient. It is a beautifully situated and maintained nature center, so it makes it easy for me. As far as birding as a hobby, birding is no different than shopping. It's a quest where people seek after certain things. My recommendation to birders is to not have expectations of which birds you will see, how many you will see, but to go out there free of any specific expectations, enjoy nature, and let nature surprise you.
George, well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here with us today. And to everyone watching, we hope we'll see more of you soon coming to visit our site and to get involved.
Yes, thank you for giving me this opportunity to make this presentation. I enjoyed it.